Today, I'm going to be going through all 60 of my knives, starting with this one, Pocket Check, my Qsp. Oh man, the Urban EDC 5.5, this thing is quickly becoming one of my favorites. You guys already know, the Hinderer 3.5-inch skinny sheep's foot. I don't need to say anymore. This is my baby. My EMP Designs Thick Boy. If you guys seriously haven't checked out EMP Designs yet, I have no freaking clue as to why. It's freaking awesome. My Spyderco Sng and M4. This thing is freaking awesome and it checks every single box. My off-grid knife Scorpion. There's absolutely no reason for me to have this. This thing's just a little bit too large for everything that I do. Ugh, but it's so awesome. It's not going anywhere. My 520. Now, this is one that I did not mean to buy. And by that I mean, I wasn't looking for it. It just kind of fell in my lap. A decent deal happened and here we are. And holy crap, I couldn't have gotten luckier. This knife is absolutely, completely, and utterly beautiful. And mine. Sorry, it's not for sale. My Hinderer Skinner 3-inch with some carbidized scales. This thing is kind of the thing that just takes the place of the bug out. It's awesome. And she's so gorgeous. My Qsp Penguin in titanium. Another bug out killer, potentially. I don't know why people hate on this knife. Nick Shabazz didn't like it. Corey, you don't like it. This thing is a killer for under $100. Absolutely smashes it. The good old bug out in titanium scales. It's all jacked up. You guys can tell I use this guy a lot. You guys can hate on spending this much money on a bug out. It's the 20CV, and I added some titanium scales. But it's 110% worth it. Would never go back and change it for anything. The Artisan Cutlery Serious. You guys are going to see this pitted up against the Esprit for King of the Hill. The Wee Knives, not to be confused with the Civivi knives, Elementum. The Spyderco Manix 2 and Rex 45. This is absolutely one of my just, The Protech Rockeye. Now this guy is amazing, ergonomically fantastic, just probably one of my favorite automatic knives. The Protech Sng is up there, but I don't know, this guy's pretty badass. Who could write off the Pm2? This is the Pm2 and M390, and I love this knife. I don't care. This knife is evergreen. It'll be there forever. I have no intentions of ever getting rid of this, and it's just the epitome of what a good knife is. What the? The Spyderco Para 3. There's not much to say. This is just a badass little knife, and it will forever reign in part of just the, again, evergreen community of knives. My Protech Pharamforge Mordex. As you guys can see, I did a flip or delete on this guy. Haven't done much with them recently, but this is just a really good knife, and without that flipper, this thing is really good. The Civivi Relic. This is going to my buddy Seth down in the bayou. There you go, Seth. The Hinderer Jurassic. This is a knife that hasn't quite grown on me yet, but we shall see if it does. The Crk Umnuzan. I actually had this guy sold, and then I didn't want to rush getting the review out, and so the guy backed out of the sale, and I'm kind of glad he did. I love this knife. Oh, the big boy. This is my Cold Steel 8015 Light. As you guys know, or may not know, the Cold Steel 8015 is such a good knife that I actually want a custom version of it. I reached out and I'm like, are you guys making any more? And he's like, maybe. Thanks. The Protech Sng. Now this is a knife that is really good, really practical, a great size. Probably my second favorite automatic. Tied for second with the Kershaw Launch 1, which sounds like a bad tie, but the Kershaw Launch 1 is just awesome. The Civivi Cogent. Go ahead, drool, fanboys. My Wee Minax. My Wee Malice. This guy. It may not be evergreen for you, but it's evergreen for me. The Spyderco Native Chief. This is a knife that actually taught me that I do like some backlocks. It's a fantastic friggin' knife. The Artisan Cutlery Sirius. Seriously, the budget version. But it's actually still a really good knife. Ugh. My new Spyderco Grail Bradley 2. This one is definitely one that's going to see some use. This is going to change the way that my collection is because I really like this knife. This is like one of those knives that you could totally carry every day and probably never be mad at it. It's awesome. Kaiser Yukon N690. Got this for 27 bucks. Great deals at White Mountain Knives sometimes. Check it out. The Spyderco Brower. Brower? Broyer? This guy's awesome. The Artisan Cutlery Ravine. Pretty obnoxious that this thing's here, but it's kind of cool that it exists. The Hogue K320. Literally the point of diminishing returns in my opinion. Shieldon Relicanth. This is the one knife that Shieldon made that gives me hope that they actually have good knives. The Shieldon Boa. Apparently I'm in the minority here, but I think this thing is uglier than sin and not really practical. The We Knives Arsenal. Now this thing's pretty cool. It's got a great design and it's a little bit different from what We Knives usually does. The Qsp Legatus. This knife is actually in my selection that I'll be selling, but looking at it now, it's coming back out of that. I love this knife. The Bestech Bison. This knife is actually really good, and it's frowned upon because it's going for $110, but it's D2. Guess what, guys? Titanium frame lock, great ergonomics, great design. This thing's awesome. The Spyderco Cue Ball. This is a very much underrated model from Spyderco, but it's also got a lot of inherent flaws. Hence the project. Working on this guy. The Spartan Knives Aster, I believe. It's a Les George design, CTS XHP steel, and it's pretty cool. Reminds me a lot of my Rockeye, but my Rockeye's better. My Qsp Piglet that I modded, and I took so much pride in modding this guy, and this is actually a really awesome knife. The Kubi K322. Yeah, get over it, guys. It's not as good as it looks. The Giant Mouse Nimbus. This one's been modded. Somebody tried to do some rock scale pattern design on the scales, and it turned out like crap. So we sanded it down, and now you have a new model, the Skinny Nimbus. The Steel Will Tenet. This is one of those knives that can compete with a lot of those CJRBs and Civivis if they would fix the action. The Kaiser Domen. I want to really like this knife, I just haven't spent any time with it. That's right, the Artisan Cutlery Proponent. If you haven't felt one, you probably should. The Kaiser Sheepdog Xl. This thing's just a freaking behemoth. I literally have been using it as a mini axe. The Crkt Huron. This is a knife that I picked for my 30-day budget knife challenge, and it didn't let me down. The Steel Will Cut Jack. By far and large, one of the more underrated knives when we talk about the Rat 1, the Rat 2, the Civivi Backlash, the CJRB Feldspar. This is a knife that needs to be in that conversation. The Crkt Sketch. This is a knife that I really wanted to like due to the Crkt Huron, and I kind of do, but accessing that opening hole sucks. The Steel Will Piercer. This is a knife that you guys probably haven't heard of, and you might have if they didn't do this giant cutout here, just, in my opinion, jacking up all the ergonomic value this thing has. The Bestech Mako. Probably one of the most underrated budget knives in existence, and can totally wipe the face off of most of these. This thing's built like a friggin' tank. The Spyderco Tenacious. One of my OGs. I got rid of the straight edge Tenacious, but kept the serrated one. This is my only serrated knife. The Crkt Tuna. Haven't really carried this yet, and I need to review this. I know I'm behind the curve, but this just feels like a really good knife. The Civivi Praxis. This thing is evergreen, guys. There's not much to say about it because it's all already been said. It's a fantastic freaking knife. The Civivi Elementum, an S35VN. Not to be confused with the Wii Elementum. This might be a better version than the Wii Elementum. The Kershaw Bare Knuckle. This knife is forever and always amazing. The CJRB Feldspar. Easily one of the best EDCs that you can purchase for under $35. The CJRB Small Feldspar. Once again, easily one of the best knives that you can purchase for EDC for under 35 bucks. The Rat Model 2. Had to open it like it was a slip joint because I stole the thumb studs off of it. The Rat Model 1. Probably the best budget knife of all time, if not up there in the top 2 or 3. And as one last honorable mention, that doesn't quite fit the category of just straight knife. That would be my Leatherman Charge Plus. We will be doing a review on this once I kind of get more familiar with it, but this is my most carried EDC. I carry knives, I carry a lot of other stuff, but I mean, this guy alone, this blade, I don't have to carry a knife if I don't want to. But this is a CPM 154 blade or 154 CM, I don't remember. And it's fantastic. It's nice, thin, slicey. It'll do everything I need it to do. But I'm a knife guy, so I carry knives. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you're subscribed. You're going to want to for what's coming up. That is all I got for you guys today. My name is Tyler. I literally pointed to myself, and I'm like, my name is Tyler. My name is Tyler. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great freaking rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. You have no idea how much it means to me.